So it's actually been a few weeks since I've been out here. The company that I worked for and helped build over all these years was sold to an acquisitions company a couple weeks ago. And I will now be working for that new acquisitions company. And it's been a rough start. It's been a lot of work, and it's been very disorganized. It's been a rough time. So I've not had any time to get out here. Been working crazy hours, crazy days, 6, sometimes 7 days a week. But hopefully things will turn around soon. Change is always hard for anybody, but hopefully this type of change will be for the better. I always believe that when things like this happen in our lives, that it really is for the better. And even if we don't know at the moment what that is, it's always, in the long run, better for you, even when it's hard. Sometimes the hardest things that we have to go through in life end up making us grow the most, and then we become better people. They prepare us for things that we weren't prepared for later on down the road, and we get to be really good at those things. So I'm excited to see what happens, and hopefully it'll all work out. Alright, so I've been playing around with the plywood tank base here for a while, and what I've decided is that this piece of oakum is not quite wide enough. The issue that we're running into is this gap right here. So the hull is actually curved a little bit, and I played around with some ideas, like maybe bending the oakum, maybe sanding down the corners so that it would lay flatter and kind of making it more of like a oblong shape. But in the end, it's just not the right size, and there's no reason why it has to be oakum. It's actually kind of like an overbuild to use this thick of an oakum. So I was messing around on the foredeck up here and realized that I had a piece of marine plywood out there that I think is going to be the exact perfect size for what we need. It's been sitting out in the weather for a long time. I don't know how long, but it's high quality marine plywood, and it's about perfect for this. It's already, since it's been sitting out there, it's already kind of bent to the shape of the foredeck. So it will probably lay in here just about perfect, and we can really shape it to size. It's also a little bit thinner than this oakum, which will be great because it will kind of fit to shape more when I fiberglass it in. So I think I'm going to clean that piece of wood up, sand it down, get it looking pretty again, get rid of all the aged wood that's been out in the sun, and cut it to shape and see if we can fit it in here. Definitely not the recommended way to cut wood, but I do not have my truck anymore since the previous company took it, and I can't carry around all my tools anymore. So I did not realize that I did not have a saw out here, and it's now on my list to bring out here and have it out here permanently. Maybe I'll put my jigsaw in the trunk. But I really want to work on this project, so here we are. Cutting wood with an angle grinder. Not the way to do it. It works though. Alright, so this is about perfect. This will be the forward part of the tank, and this angle comes right down here. It's wider so that there's not that gap anymore. I can't stick my fingers in here. I'll shave off a little bit right here, kind of put it at an angle so that it works well. A spider just crawled onto the lens. I don't know if you guys can see that. And then down here, I know you can't see, but there is a little flat part, a little flat bulkhead tabbing down there already, and that will stay. And this I'll cut at an angle right here to kind of meet up with that perfectly, and we'll fiberglass it right to that, so the bottom of the tank will be like this. And that will give the chain a perfect little landing spot. It's hollow underneath there, so all the water can still drain to the bilge, so everything will keep working as intended. And I'm actually happier that this is a little bit wider. It gives the chain a little bit more room down in there. And like the previous video, I'll be able to get down in there and clean a little bit better. So I really think it works out for the best. So that's great. And you know, additionally, this one was so much longer. I was planning on cutting it down, but I wasn't sure where. But now that I know it's going to be right here, I'm realizing that when the chain does pile up, like when it fills this little section up and it does start piling up, it's actually going to pile up right in here instead of up there, which is even better. So I'm really happy with this. And the only thing I'm not happy with is the condition of this wood. I don't know how much it matters that this wood is a little UV damaged, but I'm going to go ahead and sand all of that off just in case. Because what we're going to do is epoxy this and then fiberglass it so that it's extremely rigid. And I want to make sure that that epoxy is seeping into good, strong wood and that the fiberglass is adhering properly. So that's what we're going to do. Alright, well, this is looking a lot better, and just cut it down, do some measurements down there, cut it down, and epoxy and fiberglass it, get ready to install it.